This is B1 lesson 33, where we are going to be looking at what we call verb plus preposition. You see, in English there is a certain way we take a verb, then we put a preposition after a verb. And in that case, that's what we call dependent preposition. We're going to understand the of that. When I say dependent preposition, what does it mean in a simple word, in a simple understanding? A dependent preposition is a preposition that must follow a specific verb. When I say dependent preposition, what does that mean? It means like the preposition is not chosen freely. No. It depends on the verb. That's why we call it dependent. Why? It depends on the verb. The verb determines a specific preposition that must follow a specific verb. Meaning that we have a preposition that is obliged to follow a specific verb. And again, as I said before, the preposition is not chosen freely. You can't just wake up and say, okay, I just want to put at, or I just want to put in after this verb. No, it depends on the verb that you have. Let's see example. People say depend on, listen to, agree with. What does this mean? It means that changing the preposition changes or breaks the meaning. If I put another preposition here which is not on, if I put depend in, that breaks the meaning. When I say listen to, agree with, another person can say agree to. If a person say agree with, another person say agree to, that changes the meaning. When I change the preposition, I change the meaning or I break the meaning that was intended. Let's see why dependent prepositions matter in English. Why are you learning dependent preposition? What's the importance of that? They are very common in everyday English. That means that a wrong preposition sounds unnatural. When you use the wrong preposition, that makes your conversation or your speech sounds unnatural to the person who is listening to it. Let's take example. When I say she apologized for being late, we can also say we are waiting for the bus. We are using this preposition because it is the one that goes with apologize. It goes with the wait. She apologized for being late. We are waiting for the bus. They are very common in our modern English, and using the wrong preposition might result into breaking the meaning or also changing the meaning which you didn't want to. Let's see verb plus on. We have many verbs, but let's simply see those which are common, which always goes with on, preposition on. When we say the common verbs that uses a preposition on, we have depend on, rely on, concentrate on. When you use depend, it should be followed by on. Rely should be followed by on. Concentrate should be followed on. Success depends on hard working. He is concentrating on his studies. We have other verbs followed by preposition for. The common ones are wait for, apologize for, apply for. We waited for the teacher. She apologized for her mistake. How about other verbs followed by preposition to? The common ones we have listen to, belong to, respond to. I like listening to music. This bag belongs to me. They say here, In examples, I agree with your idea. She worries about her exams. That was a sort of the complication about the verbs followed by those prepositions. I wanted to use complain. You always complain about life. My friend argue with strangers every day. You know, to argue is to talk, another person talks, you talk, another person talks, you are arguing. You are not getting to a same conclusion or having the common understanding. So one has their own idea, another has their own idea, so their ideas fight. Let me call it a fight of ideas. You argue about certain things where you don't agree with one another on certain topic. Let's fill in the blanks here. You're going to complete with the correct preposition based on the verb that you have. I am waiting dash dash the bus. She apologized dash dash being late. He depends dash dash his parents. We are listening dash dash the teacher. She worries dash dash her future. Let's fill in the blanks here. You're going to choose the correct preposition again. This book belongs dash dash me. He applied dash dash the job last week. They agreed dash dash the plan. She complained dash dash the noise. We replied dash dash his advice. Let's proceed. We are going to complete correctly. I am not interested dash dash sports. She is good dash dash mathematics. He argued dash dash his friend. They are responsible dash dash the project. We believe dash dash honesty. You're going to choose the correct preposition. Remember, we have a lot of prepositions. We have lots of them. You're going to add the correct preposition here. She is afraid dash dash dogs. He succeeded dash dash passing the exam. We talked dash dash the problem. I am looking dash dash my keys. They participated dash dash the event. Let's do the quiz. We're going to choose the correct preposition here. She depends dash dash her brother. I apologized dash dash my mistake. He is interested dash dash learning English. We listened dash dash the instruction. They agreed dash dash the decision. Ciao ciao. See you later.